has set my course in my life throughout the years, God still speaks to the listening heart. But we need to ask. We need to engage. It doesn't happen automatically. It's something that God and we grow together, that relationship that becomes so precious, personal, and important in our life's spiritual journey. I think that's where the wisdom came that the Magi had. And I think it's still the wisdom that guides us best in the days in which we live. If we are to be wise, we too will have the desire to worship, to study the scriptures, to pray, and to be obedient in the way in which God would follow. One last story. When I was graduating from high school and thinking about the undergraduate work that I would need to do, there were two institutions, the University of New Hampshire and another that I really wanted to go to, but wasn't really certain which direction I felt God wanted me to go. The reasons for UNH were more obvious. My father worked there and there were financial benefits to that. But I really wanted to go to the other school, but to do so I would need to have a full scholarship. And so I remember applying for that scholarship and praying before I left that God would show me which direction I should go in. As it turns out, we had a very difficult time finding the campus of that school, and I was late. I'd missed half of the first assignment that we were given. I wasn't in a good headspace to be able to interview well that particular day, and as fate would have it, as things turned out, I did not receive that scholarship, which I accepted as a sign that God was directing me this other direction to UNH, which was the right choice for me. Standing here now, looking back, I can see how God guided me in that decision. But it comes from asking. That's where the genesis of relationship begins. I'd like to invite you to a covenant prayer in the Wesleyan tradition in the Red Songbook. It's on page 607. It has been a tradition throughout the years of our denomination's existence to offer this prayer at the beginning of the year to reaffirm our covenant with God and with one another. It is not a prayer for the faint of heart. It takes a great deal of courage to offer this prayer. It basically puts our lives in the hands of the living God. But I want to pray it. And if you would like to pray it with me, I invite you to do so as we share it together. 607 in the Red Songbook. Let us pray. I am no longer my own, but thine. Put me to what thou wilt. Rank me with whom thou wilt. Put me to doing. Put me to suffering. Let me be employed by thee, or laid aside for thee, exalted for thee, or brought low by thee. Let me be full, let me be empty. Let me have all things, let me have nothing. I freely impart, I yield all things to thy pleasure and disposal. And now, glorious and blessed God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, thou art mine, and I am thine, so be it. And the covenant which I have made on earth, let it be ratified in heaven. Amen. I can think of no better way to begin a new year than with the gift of Holy Communion. We call it a sacrament, which simply means that it is one of the gifts that we're given where the presence and heart of God can actually touch the heart of a human person. That becomes a sacramental moment. And whenever we encounter God in that way, we are transformed within. The Spirit of God is planted deep in our life, and we begin to live from the ethic of love that God has created us for. It is a gift of God, freely given, that we might experience as often as we can. And so in preparation for this, I would invite you to join with me as we share a prayer of confession and pardon. Gracious God, our sins are too heavy to carry, too real to hide, and too deep to undo. Forgive what our lips tremble to name, and what our hearts can no longer bear, and what has become for us a consuming fire. Set us free from a past we cannot change. Open to us a future in which we can be changed. And grant us grace to grow more and more in your likeness and image. Through Jesus Christ, the light